This is Radio Random Network. Find us on the web at www.radiorandomnetwork.com.
You're backstage with hashtag RDM on Radio Random Network. Now, here's the host, hashtag RDM, Russell Devin McLean.
All right, joining me today on Backstage with hashtag RDM on the Radio Random Network, I'm talking to none other, for a second time here on the Radio Random Network, Mr. T.G. Sheppard. How you doing, friend?
I've been fine, Russell. How you been?
Doing great. So last time I talked to you, man, you had a new album that you were working on, and now it's pretty much available. It's called Legendary Friends and Country Duets, and you have some star power on here.
Well, I was very fortunate, Russell, to put the call out to my friends, and they all came with no questions asked. People like Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard and George Jones before he passed, and we recorded together, and Jerry Lee Lewis, Ricky Skaggs, the Oaks. I mean, it's unreal. I'm so humbled by these great names coming to join me on this album.
It's awesome. Now, one in particular I want to add, well, two. First and foremost, the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, what was it like working with him?
Absolutely phenomenal. I thought maybe I would have an hour with him. He met me in Memphis at the old Sam Phillips Recording Service studios, where Orbison and Elvis and Carl Perkins and all those great artists recorded. And he stayed with me 5 hours in the studio.
Wow.
And we had a blast. Matter of fact, I filmed each of the sessions, and starting Friday on my Twitter and Facebook accounts, you'll be able to see little excerpts of all of these artists on video of us in the studio recording the songs. And but yeah, Jerry Lee was great. Well, I mean, he just absolutely still got it after all these years.
Well, with that said, let's go back a little bit now. What inspired you to do this album? Because this is like the first commercial album you've done in a few years. What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, it is my first album in 13 years, Russell. The inspiration was that I kept people after the concerts, because we still tour each week, would come up to me after the shows at the bus or wherever, and they'd say, man, we really miss the kind of country music that we grew up on, those voices. And so I kept hearing the people. So the fans of country music, I think, really and truly are the ones that encouraged me or gave me the confidence to go in and try to pull something of this magnitude off. And so I invited 17 artists in to do 14 songs. And so the fans really and truly are the ones that kind of made it happen.
That's real cool. And one other real cool thing is, too, on the album, like you said a while ago, the legendary, he's an icon, Mr. George Jones. Now, when was that recorded with the duet?
That was right before. That was right before he passed.
Wow.
And he came and met me in the studio a few months before he died, and I asked him to come record with me, and he did. And so I recorded it and put it aside and made it part of this project. It was just it's strange now to hear his voice and Now Together, as well as the Conway Twitty cut of Why Me Lord, with these people who are no longer with us. And it's just, it's really eerie for me to be able to listen to them now, and because they were both very good friends.
Yes, indeed. And with that said, George Jones, now what kind of inspiration or influence did he have on your career?
Well, to see an artist who could have that kind of longevity and could still have great pipes and singing ability, after so many years, it inspired me to know that you can go a long time in this business if you take care of your throat, which, George still is able to sing great, although he didn't take care of himself. But,
right.
And to be able to work way up into your, the senior years of the career and still be able to tour, that seeing these people inspired me to know that you can do this a long time if you stay true to your music and to the fans.
Yes, indeed. Now, one other on there is I want to ask you about is it Dead Woman Walking with Miss Kelly Lang?
Dead Girl Walking?
Dead Girl Walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? How fun is it to record with your wife?
Believe me, it's great. I mean, she's a very talented woman. I mean, anybody who wants to check out Kelly Lang, go to kellylang.net or YouTube or Facebook, Twitter. She's a great singer and songwriter. Matter of fact, she wrote all of Lori Morgan's last album. And it was great. It was really great to be able to sit there and do something together as husband and wife. I'm very blessed to be married to the girl of my dreams.
That's awesome. I know you guys, I see the interaction you have on social media all the time with each other, sharing each other's stuff. I thought it was pretty cool, you know. Then when I found out she did a duet with you on this album as well, you know, I just figured the fire's still burning, I guess is the best way to put it.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? Without having to put any coal in it. I mean, the fire is really hot. I mean, after 15 years, I really am blessed to have her in my life.
Yes, indeed. So what's the plans for the future, TG? You got anything else in the works?
Well, you know, I'm just hitting the road a lot right now in support of the album. And we have a lot of exciting things for next year planned, a lot of television. And it's just a continuation of what I've been doing for so long. You know, I have to pinch myself every day when I wake up because I really am living my dream. And it just, for it to keep going and going and going astounds me. And to be able to walk out and see the crowds getting larger and concert dates picking up and watching the people sing the words to your songs that were hits years ago, it's encouraging to me. This is the most exciting time of my life right now in my career.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, TG, I know you got a lot of things going on and you're very busy today, and I want to thank you so much for calling in to us.
Well, I thank you, man. I hope everybody will go, like I say, to Amazon or iTunes and take a listen because I think it's something that the people will really enjoy.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And a while ago, you touched a little bit on, taking care of yourself and everything. And with all that said, is there any advice you can give to any upcoming musicians or recording artists or songwriters that would may want to follow in your footsteps?
Well, you know, I think what you have to do is you have to be a believer in what you do. And I think you have to be and treat everyone equal. Because after all, people and relationships is what propels a career in any walk of life. So I think you have to be true and be a journeyman to your trade, learn all you can about what you do. But above all, you have to believe in yourself because in the beginning, before you ever have fans, you are your first fan and you have to believe in yourself. And that hopefully breeds success. So just, you know, be kind and spread around what you make and what you have to help other people improve the quality of life for those around you.
Great advice. The name of the album is Legendary Friends and Country Duets. It's T.G. Sheppard with all of your favorite recording artists pretty much on this album. And again, Mr. T.G., I want to thank you so much for calling in to us today here on the Radio Random Network. You know you're always welcome. Well,
Russell, hopefully we'll do it again before too long. And I always enjoy talking to you, man.
You too, friend. And we're going to let you go and let you go ahead and get back to your busy day. And thank you so much for sharing your talent with the world.
Hey, thank you for letting me share my talents. People like you that make people like me. I appreciate you.
It's always good to talk to the likes of the icon, T.G. Sheppard. Y'all be sure to go check the album out, Legendary Friends and Country Duets, on Amazon, iTunes, or pretty much any streaming network where you can download and buy music. I'm sure you'll find it on there. A lot of great duets with the likes of Merle Haggard, George Jones, Miss Kelly Lang, and so many more, even the killer Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, with all of that said, guys, I want to thank you so much for hitting the play button and joining us for this week's episode of Backstage with #RDM right here on Radio Random Network. For more information about the show, upcoming guests, and how to support the Radio Random Network to keep the shows free for all of our listeners, all you have to do is just simply go to www.radiorandomnetwork.com www.radiorandomnetwork.com. That's www.radiorandomnetwork.com. You can listen to past episodes and so much more. We'll see you Friday for the Russell and Mudtooth Halloween show. With all of that said, I'm #RDM Russell Devin McLean. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.